Okay, great. Okay, great. So, welcome to Tips from the Top. Um, just 2 months ago, we were at the beginning of July excited to be announcing a new diamond on the team, but now we're announcing a new double diamond on the team. So, Traci, congratulations. Girl, you have been working this business and here's the truth of it. When we put in the work consistently, it comes back to us. And so I love that. I love your story. I love to see you going for that. So tonight, y'all, we're going to have some fun. We're going to get some insight. We're going to hear some things for the second time. But what I've learned as a parent and as myself is I often need to hear things more than once. My kids definitely need to hear things more than once. And so sometimes it just clicks at different times. So congratulations, Traci.
Thank you.
So exciting. Okay, I'm going to put this on speaker view. Okay, so not only, wait for this, guys, not only did you promote to Double Diamond last month, you signed 123 loyal customers. That is nuts. Did I just say that?
Yeah, I can't even believe it when I say it.
That's amazing. Okay, so here's something that's crazy, right? Because I think this is something we all do. You're not 18 and in college.
Right.
I feel like a lot of people right now are saying, oh yeah, it's all the young people in college signing all these little customers, but that's not the truth. You are, right?
Right.
Tell us a little bit about you.
Okay, so let's see. So I've been in It Works for about 14 months. I joined in June of last year under the $9.99 special. And I joined just to help my sister. I had done network marketing before in college. I did Mary Kay. I absolutely hated it. I was one of those people that had my nose up at network marketing, anytime somebody talked about it. So never in a million years would I ever have believed that I would be doing this. 2 years ago, I was in Tennessee and I was stuck in addiction. I was addicted to alcohol and pills, and I was in an abusive marriage, and I was literally on the brink of death. And my family said, let us come and get you and bring you home and get you safe and get you healthy and get you well. And so they brought me home to Mississippi, and that was 2 years ago in November. And then in December, I went into rehab, and I was in rehab for 3 months. And so got out in March of last year and was really lost. I had no network. I had burned all kinds of bridges. So people who say, I can't do this business because I don't have a network, I had nothing. I mean, I had 400 Facebook friends of people that I had known all my life, but, wasn't really in contact with any of them. And so I was starting over in life. And so my sister started this business, and, it was but it was $10. And I said, well, I'll do it just to help you out. And so I joined her team. And then I started watching people posting and the positivity and the joy and the excitement. And I said, I want to do this. I want to be a part of this. And so I started working the business and just hopped on board. And so I promoted to executive, I want to say in 2 months, Ruby 2 months later. And then it took me about 6 months, I think, to promote to Emerald. Went to conference in February and was just really struggling with belief. I just said, they presented the bonuses at that time, and I knew they said, you've got 30 days to get this bonus. And I almost threw in the towel. I was like, there's no way I can do this. But I still went for it. Didn't get it that month. And they said, well, we're going to extend it another month. And so I ended up going Emerald the next month and getting the $5,000 bonus. And then went Diamond in July, and then double just last week.
That's so exciting. So super exciting. Okay, so in one sentence, if you could say because of it works, what would you say?
Because of it works, I have a brand new life. That's really it.
Yeah, I love that.
I mean, it's so much more than that, I mean, it's God and sobriety and family and all that good stuff. But, this business, it keeps me passionate and keeps me focused and, helps keep me sober, and so it's really, really changed my life in so many ways.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, you got me tearing up over here, but it's awesome how God gives us tools, through something silly. His word says he'll, I don't know, why is that scripture not in my head right now? He'll use the silly things of this world to confound the wise. And, some people could say it's just, we've labeled it ourselves, that crazy rat business,
Right,
but,
right.
It's been a tool, I know, for God to work in a lot of our lives. And so
right.
I love that. I loved hearing your story. So there's a few things I'd like to point out. $10 join, so for anybody that's on here going, I was trying to help somebody out. I did $20 and joined, you're sitting here listening to in 1 year later what Traci was able to do with a $10 investment into a business. Now, of course, she's invested time, she's invested sweat equity. There's things that come back to you. It's not like you said, I'm going to do this, and I posted once and people flocked to your page and
right.
you're double diamond with all these bonuses.
Right.
It's work.
Right.
But I wanted to say for the people, that did just join, or the people who joined for $99 last year, or the $9.99 or $99 last month. This business will give back to you what you put into it. And I love that. I love that you said being around the team. And I think that is really a key to success in anything. Actually, I just I met a mutual friend at my church what connected me with a mutual friend connected us because she'd come to church. She said, we just stopped going. Like we just kind of was like, I don't know, we don't need to go, we're tired, let's just sleep in and not worry about it, And she goes, I didn't realize how bad I needed this until I came back.
Right.
And I think, even with the team, sometimes we can get to be like, oh, I'm busy Tuesday nights, or the Sunday night call, or my leader's doing something at her house or having a party, and my life's just too full for all that. But if you start making yourself a little island in this business, you're not going to last.
Right.
And that positivity, that love, that all that stuff is right there. And so,
right, for sure.
That's one of the things you took on and you held on to. You're like, I'm there. Everybody says go to conference, so I went to conference. So let me say this right now. Y'all start saving every month from right now so that you can go to conference. Tickets are going to go on sale, and conference is something you want to be at. Because then if you start pulling away and then you don't go to conference, then you feel like, oh, I missed out and it's too late for me. That's generally sometimes the feeling that comes. And so worth the investment.
For sure.
To come be around. Okay. So how did you grow your network? That's a question we have.
Well, so, I just implemented the tools that these team teaches, and we'll get into how I got the customers and all that. But it started with growing my network, because the tricks that I've used work because I have grown my network. So, there's so many different methods, and I was adding friends of friends. I was going to all the tools that our team teaches. I'd go most recently, I think the best trick that was working for me for adding friends was going to Facebook ads that would show up on my page. Mm-hmm. And I realized, Facebook is showing me this ad because it thinks this is something that I want to buy. And so it's showing this ad to other people that are interested in the same thing. So it's like-minded people are shown the same ad. And so I would see an ad that had 600 likes on it. And I'm like, okay, so these people are liking this product, which means they're even open to the idea of buying something online. Mm-hmm. So I would go and just add. So I would do, that every single day, 100 a day, at least every single day, and sometimes more. And, it grew to, I'm almost maxed out now at 5,000 friends. But, before I started this whole host to post method, I was probably at least 4,000, so I grew from 400 to 4,000 in a year. Mm-hmm. So that is key. That is key.
Yep. I love that. Okay. Somebody did ask, how did you weed out the friends? I don't know what that means. Okay. I'm not sure. Maybe she can ask that a little bit clearer. Moni, ask that a little bit clearer again, and we'll come back to that. But yeah, you can do it if you're consistent, right? So right. That was something you did not every once in a while.
Right. Every day.
Every day.
Every day. Yep.
Every day. Adding people to your network. And that is one of our core fours. So you're going to hear us say that over and over again. Core four. Do your core four every day. She's not quite maxed out yet, but I know Danielle is going to talk here in a little bit, and she'll probably be able to answer that question, Moni, when that comes up. Okay. So you grew your network. Okay. Right. So now let's fast forward to the last few months since you've grown your network. What are the things? So that's one of the core fours. It's growing your network. Now it comes to messaging. What are you messaging?
So, I've always messaged, always from the very beginning. And, I've always tried to message a lot. But here at the very, very end, in the past couple of months, I'm sending 200 messages a day, sometimes more, sometimes less, it's not always exact. But, so I am, I've done the whole gamut, I've messaged for distributors, I've messaged for product testers, I've done I've used hundreds and hundreds of scripts when I message. But what kind of revolutionized my business was when I learned about post to post. And what I have done now is I don't message for distributors, I don't message for customers. I message, will you do me a favor? Will you put up a post on your wall for me? And so how this has changed my business is I can add 100 people, on justfab.com ad or whatever, but there's no guarantee that all 100 of those people care about health and wellness, want to lose weight, want, better skin, want to detox, whatever, right?
Right.
So, but in doing that, initially it gives me the friends to message and say, will you do me a favor? Right. So these people are putting up a post on their wall for me. So when their friends and I've done lots of different products, I've done triple threat because in my head, that's high volume. I've done cleanse, I've done HSN, whatever. And at the beginning, I was like everybody else, a couple of hits, not many, but I learned when I ask 200 people a day to host a post for me, then I'm getting into their networks and I'm finding people that want to lose weight. I'm using coffee. That's all I ever do is coffee. People love coffee. People want to lose weight, right? So that kills two birds with one stone. So then I get them into my network, and I may not message them right away, but when I'm posting every day, they're seeing my posts. So they're buying Triple Threat. And that's how they got into my network in the first place, was because Host to Post for the coffee. So, I probably sold between 10, 15, 20 Triple Threats last month. And that's how it happened. I wasn't asking people to try Triple Threat. I added them to my network from the coffee Host to Post. They saw my post about Triple Threat and then commented, and I messaged them about Triple Threat.
I love that. So you're messaging, which to me, that's always planting the seed. And then you're posting, which is watering it. And you're posting before and afters. And I think that is definitely
right.
a key. How often are you posting a day?
It varies anywhere between 4 to 6 times a day. Danielle gives us amazing what we call progression posts that are designed to be used together in a set. And so I try to use those as much as I can. So I'm posting at least 4, 5, 6 times a day.
Okay. Awesome. So guys, and then there's follow-up, right? That's another one.
Exactly. And y'all, there at the end, I got super, super vigilant about follow-up. I mean, I've always been, I have a wonderful online system that I pay for, and I get no monetary value for telling you all about it. But there's an online software designed for network marketing. And that's how I follow up. It is genius. It is amazing. If you're a detail person, if you like numbers and graphs, and, I'm very green personality. And so it works amazing for me. Some people get overwhelmed by it. But if you like that kind of thing, I highly, highly recommend it. But that's how I do all my follow-ups. So basically, I message somebody. For example, if somebody sees a post about Triple Threat, I add them as a friend first. That is so, 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 so important, because if you message them, they're not going to see your message. So I add them as a friend first. It's called TeamZ, TeamZY. You can try it for 30 days for free, and you just download it on your laptop or your computer, or on your phone. You can use it. They don't have an app, but you can use it on your phone as well. But you can download all your Facebook contacts, and so everybody is there in one place. And so basically, I message somebody, and then in 2 days, and I say, hey, I'm so glad you noticed this post. Are you open to learning more about it? And I screenshot a picture of the post, or actually just forward it, into their messenger so they can see the post. And then I say, are you open to learning more about it? And then once they say yes, I tell them about the coffee. And so I'm asking, are you open to learning more about it? So I don't just, give them all the information. I respect them. And I say, are you open to learning more about this? Once they say yes, I give them the script. 2 days after I ask them, if they don't respond, I say, hey, girl, I just wanted to follow up. Are you open to learning more about the coffee? Okay. 2 days later, if they don't respond, I'm saying, hey, girl, can I ask you a favor? So I'm asking them to host a post. So every single person gets a host a post. Once you're in my network, if you don't, if you're not interested in my product, I'm going to ask you to host a post. And go back to what the question about your friends. My mentality at this point, when I'm at like 4,800 friends, is I have to have personal friends, family, my team, my distributors, and people who want what I have. Potential distributors, potential customers. So if there's somebody who's not interested in what I want and what I have to offer, and they're not a personal friend or family, then I'm going to unfriend them, because I need to have room for somebody that wants this, because I'm almost maxed out. So anyway, so I ask them, will you host a post for me? If they say no, then, I unfriend them if I don't think they're going to be a potential. I don't do drawings. I don't do samples. I used to do that, but there are so many people that love to help. I mean, there's so many people that are like, absolutely, I would love to help you. And, it just gets so expensive. I mean, I have asked probably 1,000 people to host a post for me. And so, or more, So I mean, not to mention the cost of coffee, it costs almost $1 to mail that, you know? And sometimes if somebody just begs for a sample, I say, look, if you want to host a post for me and I get, a customer from it, I'll send you some coffee. And there's plenty of people that love to help, and so that's what I've done.
I love it. Okay, y'all, so here's the twist, one of the twists to tonight. Okay, what we are going to do is I want everybody on here to grab your phone really quick. Grab your phone. What's the first question that you ask, Traci?
I'll put it here in the chat.
Yep.
It's just the standard response, I mean, the standard question. Hey girl, can I ask a favor? Don't worry, I'm not trying to ask you to buy or sell anything, LOL.
Okay.
And most people think it's funny, a lot of people will go, ha ha ha,
You're so funny. Okay. So now what we're going to do, if you've never done this before, or if you have, you know what to do. So we're on Facebook. Okay. Go up to your little messenger thing right here. Go down to people. And then click all contacts. So Danielle taught us this last month. And then right here is alphabetized. Okay. So pick your letter where you want to start. You want to start at A, you want to start at Z, or you want to go to wherever you were. And we're going to message 10 people really quick. We're going to do that in what? We can do that in a minute and a half, right? Okay. Anybody have a question about that part? We're just going to send this first message. Hey, girl, can I ask you a favor? Don't worry. I'm not trying to buy or sell anything. Okay. Go. I know the silence is awkward, y'all, but some of you are scared to do this, and you just have to do it once to see, what it will take.
Can I say something while they're messaging?
You sure can.
So the thing I love about this is that it's so non-threatening. I mean, to me, it's a lot harder to ask someone to buy something than it is to ask somebody just to put up a post on their wall for you.
Yep. Okay, now something I forgot to do, y'all, with this. Well, you want this in your text replacement, that one statement. But for now, we can just copy and paste to 10. Now, one of the things I love to do, y'all, if you start getting questions right away, I don't answer those. Get your messages out. Send 10 messages. There's no it works emergency. Get your messages out. Get your messages out. Ivy, to get to the bottom of your list, on the side of where it's people, you just hit Z, and that will, or for any of our Canadians on there, Z. Right there. Awesome. Traci, I'll unmute you in a second. Just a second. Okay, got it. Okay, all right. Okay, y'all, messages are out there. That's so great. Okay, Traci, do you have one last little tidbit before we go on to what you've been doing?
I just think follow up, follow up, follow up. I mean, even if I ask somebody to host a post for me, if they don't answer 2 days later, I'm saying, hey girl, were you able to consider my favor? You know, I'm following up with every single message, you know, 3 or 4 messages, no responses. I see they've read it, then move on, make room for somebody else.
I love it. Follow up, move on. Let me tell you something too before congratulations, Traci. Yay. And we're having fun, guys. We're doing this throughout tonight's Zoom. So we're going to work this thing and you're going to know how to do it and you're going to be comfortable doing it. Now I forget what I was going to say. So that's good. Oh, you need to be prepared. Okay. One of the things, not all of you are, I can be a very sensitive person, but I can also have very sensitive days. So one of the things so after you ask them to host a post, yep, we're going to get there. I promise you we're going to get to that next question. Sometimes though, when you're going to get no's, right? Jen, you're going to get a no, you're going to get a yes, you're going to get, I'm not into it. I have had people say, I don't like ads on my wall. And I'm like, okay, cool. Next, whatever. Right. Or sometimes I might say, okay, well, if you want to, I'm doing product testers and you can get my discount. That's one of the things I'll say back to somebody like that. Now, days that I'm sensitive, I'm going to be like, are you saying you don't like my wall because I post on there? Okay, you can't get in that mindset. You have to, sometimes I just have to pray, like, God, guard my heart. I'm sensitive today, but I got to still work. I still got to do this job, but I'm only just being extra sensitive. And so be careful of that. Okay. All right, so you're going to get everything. You're going to get ignored. You're going to get yes. You're going to get people who sign up immediately. You're going to get people that you have to follow up with 20 times and then they sign up. You're going to get it all. So just, don't be surprised by it. All right. Okay. Danielle.
I'm here. Hi, you guys.
Stacey, I think you're muted now.
Oh, wait. Stacey's. Can y'all hear Stacey?
Okay. Hey. You guys seriously rocked it last month. But here's the thing I'm excited about. This team is catching on. And it feels like last month wasn't like a, yay, look what we did. It was look how we started. Wait till you see how we keep going. Wait till you see how we finish, because everybody's rocking it. But you guys gave us a little bit of insight into some stuff. You signed well over 80 loyal customers last month, which is amazing in itself. Like, just to say that, I'm thinking like 30 is still a ton. You know what I mean? Like, anybody who's signing 30, that's awesome too. But I'm like, 80, whoa. And we have 2 people on here, Traci's where she's at. I know 80 is not the end all number. I know you signed more than 80, but you probably signed 100 too. Let's just leave it at that. But how did you sign your 100 loyal customers last month?
So, okay, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit of a funny story about how we did this. Because at the beginning of last month, the past few months, I've averaged probably 3 customers a month. But at the beginning of last month, something that Ben and I try and get in the practice of doing is we say, okay, what's something that kind of feels impossible to us? And that's what we kind of want to do in our business. Like, we pick different things. But at the beginning of last month, I was like looking at all these girls who sign 100 customers. And I'm like, why am I not doing this? Like, I have so many people on my Facebook. Like, there's so many people in this world who could use these products. So I was like, why am I not doing this? And it wasn't like I was discouraged. I was like, okay, time to get on this. Like, this month, I'm going to sign 100 customers. So I made that decision. Like, I was so decided on it at the first day of the month. But come day, I think it was like day 7, I don't think we had signed any customers by day 7. So we were at dinner and I kind of like got aggravated at Ben. I was like, I can't even remember, but just like, I was like, we are not signing any. I was like, you better sign some. I better sign some. Like, we have to get on it. We made this decision. We're going to do it. We're not going to sit back and be like, oh, well, I guess there's just no way for us to do this. So I kind of like, I don't know.
Basically, Danielle was like, we're going to get up and go home unless like we start signing customers, basically. Like, we're going to leave dinner, like, unless like we get on the right page and like make this happen. And I think that, you know, it was one of those moments where you just realize like, no, like we have to do this, you know, not because anybody's forcing us to, not because it's like something that like external, but just like, this is something that we decided to do. So we need to do it, you know, and we can't let any like circumstantial or, you know, visual evidence deter us from a goal. And so we just had that conversation and just determined that we were not going to let another moment go by without giving it everything that we had.
So when I decided I was going to sign 100, I put it in our little group message saying I'm going to sign 100. Traci said I'm going to sign 100 too. So from this point, from when we said this till like day 7, she had been signing people like from then until day 7. And so I was like, and I had even texted Esty at the beginning of the last month. And I was just like, Esty, how do you sign customers? Like, I need to sign them. Like, I don't even know how to sign customers. I mean, obviously I do, guys, because I've been in this business and I've like, you know, promoted and stuff. But I hadn't signed that many. So I was like, just like really trying to feed myself with how people do this. But that night at dinner, I was like, Ben, we're not like, we either have to go home or like we have to figure out how to sign people. So Ben was like, why don't we put Traci's method to the test? And I was like, I've tried host to post before. It doesn't work for me. It just doesn't work for me. I was like, it's just not going to work for me. And he was like, yeah, but you did not do Traci's method for as long as she has done it and the amount of people she has messaged. Because I was only messaging 50 a day for host to post. And so he was like, we need to actually do Traci's actual method and do 200 a day every single day and use her exact scripts. Because I also wasn't using her scripts exactly because I was like, I don't like scripts. Like, I want it to sound like me. But he was like, no, her scripts are working. We're using her scripts. Like, we don't need to make it sound like you. We're using what works. So that's when we decided, okay, we are going to do her method. We just coined it her method because she's the reason for all this. But we're going to use her scripts and we're going to do 200 a day. So on day, I don't know what day it was, but anyway, we just kept doing 200. The first day we didn't sign anybody from doing 200. So I was like, see, it doesn't work. Like, see, it doesn't work for me. And Ben was like, no, like, we're going to keep doing 200 every single day, every single day, every single day. So we kept doing 200 every single day. And then what do you know? At a certain point, like, it actually does work. So then
I think we signed our first customer on day 2. Like
I don't even know if it was day 2. It might have been like day
3.
4 or something.
But even then, it was just like, you know, one coffee customer, we were like, this isn't like the results Traci's getting, you know, like we were still kind of like, how is she getting so many and we're not, kind of thing was still going through our head.
Not in a discouraging way, because when you're really wanting to sign customers and you're decided, it doesn't discourage you to see somebody else doing it. You're going to want to know what they're doing because you're going to want to make it happen too. So it wasn't like we were discouraged. It was just that I wasn't a believer in this method necessarily. Especially for me. I was like, it just must not work for me. But Ben was like, we want to try this method to see if truly anyone can take this and sign customers from it. So that's what we did. And we were committed to doing 200 a day. Like, we were like, for the rest of this month, we're not going to do this for like 3 days and then quit. Like, we're going to do this 200 a day for the rest of this month and truly give it a try for the entire month. And we didn't start doing this until August 10th, and we still signed over 80 LCs, and we didn't start this until August 10th. Right. So it's like, if we would have started, like this month, we've already signed LCs, you know? And so like we were running around the airport signing LCs, like, you know, so it's like, we're not actually home in our bed doing this. Like we are all over the world, actually, like in New York, like Washington, DC, like all kinds of places, you know? So it's like, I mean, you don't have to be in your bed at home doing this, but no, we didn't actually do all of ours coffee. We do some coffee, and then we do actually, we have like this script we kind of converted into the system. We do one with Kelly's before and after with the system and Fat Fighters. So
okay, pause for 1 second, because a few people up there a little bit that are starting to stress out a little bit. So Traci, will you post the next part of your statement in there of what to tell people when they say, sure? Yes. So I was wondering if you would be willing to post a post on your wall for me, going for a huge promotion. I'll be so grateful. Okay, let's pause for like 30 seconds, and y'all copy that and respond to your people, okay? Because some more questions will kind of come as we go through this. So y'all respond to your people really quick. And Danielle, if you want to say anything while we're doing this too, I mean.
I can just look through the questions while we're doing that.
Perfect.
Really. So, okay, one is about Facebook jail. We have never gotten put in Facebook jail this entire month. And one day we even did 400 instead of 200 because I had 7 fast starts I had to get. And so, you know, we needed a lot of customers that day. So we even did 400 messages that day to get a lot of customers, and we didn't get put in Facebook jail. We did not get put in Facebook jail all month long.
I don't think.
So, I mean, we got the warning, you know, the warning that it does. We got that a lot. But just from text replacement, it saves you from getting in Facebook jail. And if you start getting the warning, use another device. Like sign in from your iPad, sign in from your computer, sign in from your phone. Like if you use another device, that's helped us.
And I found that if I do a lot on my computer, that's when I started getting the warnings. So I think that it's more mobile friendly. If you're using your mobile device, I think you get more longevity that way.
Okay, great. I think we gave everybody enough. If we only sent out 10, right? I'm sure we gave everybody enough time. Yeah, one more little moment, or good, let's keep going. So no Facebook jail. Now, are you sending out all 200 at the same time, or do you find you've spaced it out on your day, or what? Like for me, with my girls, so one of the differences with me would be Stacy has kids and I'm in my car most of the time now with the age they are. So every time I get in my car, I send 10 to 20 messages for host to post, you know, and I do probably get in my car about 10 different times a day, guaranteed. So that puts me right where I'm at.
Yeah, and that's we honestly did it both ways because you know, different days, if we were on the go a lot, it was just a little bit here and there. Some days, you know, if it was super busy and we got to the end of the day and it was like I only sent like 20 messages or something, it was like we need to get to 200. And
like we'll just stay up till really late to get to 200, you know.
And I mean, it really doesn't take that long.
No.
If you do it the right way, you can send 100 in 15 minutes. So, but yeah, we would stay, like, if at the end of the day we hadn't sent 200, we'd stay up a little bit later and send out the bulk of what we needed to send out. And then it's great to do that too, guys. Like, if that's all you can do is to send it out all at once at night, then in the morning, it's great because the first thing you can do when you wake up is you can follow up. You have a whole bunch of people who've responded over the night that you can message all at once in the morning and continue those conversations. So, and
like we have a lot of us personally, we have a lot of single working moms on our team, like, you know, Stephanie, Melissa Kennedy, like those types of people. And they just started doing this method towards the end of the month because we only started like August 10th. And then when we started seeing how much this was like duplicatable for people, we started telling them like, you know, things like that. So Stephanie just started doing it towards the end of the month. She started signing tons, and she works all day long, and she's a single mom, so it's like, it is duplicatable for those of you who work, for those of you who are moms. Like, I am personally not, but we have a lot of them on our team who still were doing this method and getting the same results as we were. So I know that we love it because we love to find things that are duplicatable for like people on our team too, that somebody else can do and emulate, and Ariel Harold, she's on here. She promoted Diamond this month. She signed over 30, with this method. And, she works full time and is the mom. So it's like, that's another blessing. So if you are, working mom and you're worried, like this is definitely a method that can work for you too.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. And I love that there's no excuse with it, because that's one of the things we can do with our mindsets is like, look at all the reasons why we can't do what someone else is doing, or we can look at all the ways we can do what someone else was doing, or all the benefits we have for the life that we're living, and getting to do it. So I'm pretty sure this is text replacement and going through your people, but Kelly's asking, how do you get fit how many messages out in 15 minutes?
So we just do it the fast way, and I think that we posted a video of it before. And that's another thing, like you just said, which I'm going back to what you just said, but how we make excuses. And like, even as Stephanie, like she's exhausted by the time she has homework, she works full time, and then she has to do homework and all this stuff when she gets home. But like some nights we would stay on the phone with her so she wouldn't fall asleep, so she could finish the bulk of the messages, like she was just like determined to like make a way. But like, she signed a lot of people from it, more than she had signed, in months, just like us. But the fast way is, how do you do the fast way?
Yeah, so I'll show you guys really fast. So I don't know if you can see this. When you open up your Messenger, and you're like on your home screen, and then you go down to people down here, and then you'll see up here it says all contacts, and then this brings up, and at the very top of that list, it's going to be just like your recents or whatever. But then there's also an alphabetical list of every single contact in your Facebook. So you can even just go to a letter on this little column on the right and like start at that letter.
Turn down your screen light a little bit.
Sure, hang on.
Okay, I will say we do not look at people's profiles, and we do not see if they are in It Works. And I know that a lot of people do, but you know what? If I've sent it to my team, and like, I'm like, you know what? You can see that I'm working. Like, and one of my team, actually, like some girl on my team, like once I sent it to her, she was like, you actually do this every day? I was like, yes. Like, I'm not sitting here lying, like saying that this is how we're signing people. Like, yes, I actually do this. She was like, okay, I actually need to do this. She's like, if you're successful and you're doing this, I'm going to go do it. So it's like, I don't care if I send it to people and it works. Melissa Kennedy sent it to Margarita, our field team developer. She sent it to Margarita. But Margarita was like, go girl, I'm so proud of you. Like, it's so good to see you working your business, So like,
here's the key with that. Like, I know that it's like a worry, like you don't want to send the wrong message to the wrong person, right? But it's like, what is the worst case scenario? You either send it to somebody who's in the business and they should be proud of you. Even if they're not, they should be. Number two, you send it to somebody who like maybe would be offended and you like don't want to talk to them. Why are they on your Facebook? Like, if they're going to act like that, then you probably don't want them in your life anyway.
Yeah. This is why we think it's the best way, like somebody said, to weed out friends, because you truly, if somebody is not going to buy from me and not going to be a distributor of mine, like, then my social media is for my business right now. So it's like, this is my store. So it's like, if they're going to be negative or say something mean, then I'm just going to unfriend them. Like, I don't even need them, So it's like a great way to see who would say something that's negative, because then you can know I'm going to unfriend them. They don't need to be on my Facebook.
And we're not unfriending everybody who says no, but we're unfriending everybody who like is like, why would you send me this kind of message? Like, if you ever get that, it's just like unfriend and move on. Like, you don't need to worry about it. So, but that's super rare anyway.
Yeah.
Most people, like 99% of people are super supportive, and like, you don't have anything to fear with sending this message.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, just literally like, so what we do is, when we first started at the beginning of last month, when we first started doing this, I just started with A, And you just start with the first person at the top, and I use text replacement, or for your copying and pasting it first, you just
We just
send
do it
the message.
super fast. We try and do it super, super fast.
I mean, you can see like one of the first people I sent last month, it still says they didn't actually answer me, but there's that message already. So, so you just go down the list, and then there's the next person, and you can literally do this if you're either copying and pasting or using text replacement. You can send out. We timed it. You can do 115 minutes. So some people have even done faster.
Yeah, some people have done faster. So Melissa Kennedy did it 700 that one night.
That's really,
you don't remember?
I forgot about that.
But yeah, you can do it faster even too if you want to. But we don't stop and respond. Like Stacey said, that's a huge game changer for a lot of people. Like if you just stop and respond, you think you've done a lot and you really haven't. You spent the most of the time responding, and not everybody that you respond to is even going to do it or going to have people that buy. So it's like you really want to spend the most amount of time messaging it to as many people as you can. So like we send it to a ton of people, and then we take the time to respond. But I mean, even if you don't respond till the next day, it's still better to send a ton, to a ton of people in our experience.
I'm gonna, at the very end, because this ends about 9:20, well, maybe 9:30, but at 9:30, Crystal, I'll stop the recording, and anybody who wants to stay on and go through text replacement, we'll do it step by step and put it into your phone. Okay.
Yeah. And I just want to say even too, like, it's so easy, you guys, to see people who sign a lot of customers and count yourself out and say, I could never do that. Because even me, I've promoted and done amazing things, but I still was not mass enrolling customers ever. I had never enrolled 50 customers in a month. I had never enrolled 30 customers in a month. So it's like, it's so easy to count yourself out, or it's so easy to think that method just works good for her, and it's so crazy because people see Traci, and all the time they're like, I could never be Traci. And they don't understand that Traci FaceTimed me and Stephanie one night, like sobbing, crying, being like, I can't enroll people. I'm never going to make more than $200. Like, like all these fears, like of like, I'm not signing people. I've been trying and trying and trying. I can't sign people. And, she had like really strong like fears and doubts. And so it's like, people don't see that side of the story. So it's like, if some of you, I know we're going to have to get off soon, but if some of you are on here, it's great for us to be so excited when you do sign people, but there's probably a lot of you on here who are where Traci was before she is now, who are wondering, is this even worth it? Can this business work for you? Can you sign this many LCs? You're struggling probably to sign one. You're struggling probably to sign one DT. Maybe you haven't made $200. Like I literally remember Traci telling me, will I ever make more than $200? And like, now, I don't know if she would want to share, but she's like, her paycheck this month is like insane. I think she said more than she's made in a year. So it's like, yes, this is so worth it. And like, we don't just want to come on here and tell you guys you have to do any of this. We just want to speak hope and life into you because you started this business for a reason. And those dreams are real and those can come true. And you can sign just as many customers as Traci did. That is the beauty of this method. And you don't have to use this method, but it's one that's available to you, And that's the beauty of this, is that anybody can do what she did. Anybody can sign as many as we did.
And honestly, guys, like just a little personal testimony as far as that goes. I think the biggest lesson that I have taken away personally from this past month is just that I am blown away by the possibility of any goal. Like you can literally set any goal and it can be possible. If you would have asked me at the beginning of August 2018 that I was capable of signing over 50 customers in a month, I would have like really struggled with that belief. I would have really struggled to actually believe that. But I did it because like I just made the decision to do it and went after it with everything that I had. And
we didn't stop on the first day or the second day or the third day or the fourth or the fifth or the sixth or the seventh, you know?
And it wasn't that I just automatically, like all of a sudden magically had the belief that I could do it. I didn't have the belief necessarily. I was just like, I'm going to go. I'm going to go like all in. Like that was what I decided. I'm going to go all in and give it a full shot till the end of the month. I'm going to do it, everything that I can do, you know, and it worked. And so I think that it's just really like, it's expanded my belief in what is possible, because I've been behind the scenes. I've not been an enroller for this team, you know, like I'm more like the E-suite guy and like, you know, take care of like the details and stuff like that and charting and things like that. But like, I've never been an enroller for our team. And
So
so
if he could go from enrolling like 0
yeah,
to enrolling over 50, you know, anybody
can.
Like anyone can. And so we just want to like really speak that life and faith into you guys tonight, and not just talk about a method, because it's so much bigger than this method, although this is a great resource and I'm so glad we have it. And I'm glad for Traci to perfecting her scripts. But I just want to speak life and faith into you guys. What do you feel like is really hard for you to do this month? What are you feeling like is impossible for you to do? And the other thing that I want to have you guys think about is, do you want the rest of your life to look exactly like it does today? Because if not, then you have to make a change in your life. Like, do you want the rest of your life to be exactly like it looks today? Like, do you want to have the ability to give like it has today? And do you want your parents' life? Like, I know I want to make more so that my grandmother can be, you know, better provided for. And so it's like, you have to ask yourself that today. Would you be okay if for the rest of your life looked exactly the same? Because if your answer is no, then you've got to make a change. And that change is work. It's work. Like, there is no way around it. But once you get through it and over the other hump, it's so worth it.
So worth it, guys.
And so we just want to like even prophesy over some of you. Like, there's probably some of you on here who are like, I don't feel like I'm struggling to sign people. And my goals seem so out of reach this month, and signing that many people seems out of reach. And I don't feel like I have enough time. Like, we're really believing that there's a lot of people on here that you're going to decide, I am just going to do the hard work, and I'm going to do exactly what Traci did. I'm going to do exactly what they did. And I'm going to send more messages than I think is possible, but I'm going to do it anyway. And my life is going to change. And a year from now, you're going to wake up and you're just going to be so thankful that you did. So thankful that you like went to work so hard. And anything is possible this month. Anything is possible this month. Like, if it feels overwhelming to you, better that it feels overwhelming, because like God can show you that it's like possible, you know? Yeah. So we just wanted to speak that into you guys too.
No, I love that. You're making me think. One Sunday morning, my pastor goes, you can do anything. And I was like, you can do anything. I was like, going to set up for something else. What was I going to say? I don't know. I can't remember, but I was going to say like, add something else. And he goes, you can do anything you feel is important enough to do. You can do anything you feel is important enough to do. Yeah. So we can come up with excuses for anything, but we can also put in work for anything if you feel like it's important enough to do. That is why, too, it's so important to have a why. So when I get in that situation where I'm like, you know, Danielle, I feel like when you're like on the 7th, you're like, I've tried this and it's not working. I mean, I've been on one side where I'm like, well, it just didn't work. And I gave up on the 7th of the month. You know what I mean? Like, I still did my posting, but the belief was gone. The drive was gone. Like, I never not worked my business, but there's a difference between knowing that something can happen and just kind of giving up, but coasting, you know? And so just going, guys, we have the power to flip in our brain that drive. We can either stop, coast, pause, put on the brakes, or we can push harder, run through that finish line and keep going. You know, when you decide to climb a mountain at the bottom of the mountain, that's a fun decision, you know? And then you start hiking and you're like, oh, I got to make that decision again at this little plateau. Or if I can just get to that tree where there's shade, and am I going to go down or am I going to keep going up? And the thing is, it's always our choice. But that's where it's powerful to have a why, because for me, sometimes if it's just for me, I'm like, deuces. Yep. But then when I look at my girls and I'm like, oh, I'm sending them to private school, and if I don't do this business, they don't get to go. Okay, I don't care. Would you do a favor for me, friend? Like, let me get back to that message, you know? And it's just important to do. So let's really quick to now, next step. What's the next message, Traci? People have said yes. I know we're kind of mixing this all in.
No, it's good. You guys, I love learning and doing at the same time, because so many times we're like, we need to learn. Like, you do, you will learn.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's really so good.
So you send thank you so much in one message. So thank you so much. Here's the post. Just tag me in it and I'll do the rest. And then here is the coffee post, y'all, to send everybody.
Yeah.
And obviously take out Traci and put in your name there.
Yes, because I sure did have somebody post and do that for me with the wrong name in it. So
Yeah.
but you still posted. That was nice.
Yeah.
And you guys just keep responding, but I'm going to answer some of these questions while y'all are responding. So, okay, how do you weed out friends once you're maxed out? So this is actually how we read out our friends, is by doing host to post, because we ask somebody to host a post. If they say, no, I don't want that on my wall, or no, for any reason, we ask them to be a loyal customer or a distributor. If they say no to that, I unfriend them. We've gone through all of my friends now, every single one of them. We've gone through them now. So we're unfriending a lot. Also, I mean, make sure you unfriend people like on, like you could go to Sherry and see who you're mutual friends with her, because then all those people tend to be at works people. So you can obviously unfriend those. But if somebody is not going to be a customer or a distributor or host post for me, then we unfriend them.
And quick caveat on that: if you have not reached 5,000 friends, then don't do that, because you can
don't
follow
waste
up.
the time to do that.
Like you can. This is only if you've maxed out and you have to eliminate people. Like, this is what you do. So until you reach that point, just keep adding people and don't take people off.
But for a while, I was close to 5,000, and I was not adding people every day because I wasn't doing this method, and you start to hit a wall. So you either have to add people just by adding them, or by adding them from host to post. Like if you just have people coming to add you, like coming to friend you, but you're not going to add people, you're going to struggle to sign new customers. Mm-hmm. So you have to add people some kind of way, whether you're doing host to post and you're adding them that way, or you're just adding them, the regular way. Like adding people is very important to your business, but also you don't want to add people and then not message them, because then what was the point of adding them? Mm-hmm. Like utilize this. Utilize the people that you have. Take advantage of the opportunity that you're given to share with them.
I just saw Jen Whistler's question. How do you balance asking for host to post and DTs? The great thing about host to post mm-hmm. is that after doing, 2 to 3 weeks of host to post and having literally hundreds of people who hosted a post for us, now I'm going back through all those hundreds of people who've already gotten results from a post and already had people comment that are interested. I've signed their friends as customers, and I go back and I say, thank you for hosting a post. It was such a huge help. And then I say, have you ever thought about doing what I do? You would be so great at it. And that is a proven statement. You would be so good at it because you already did. And so those people, they're not going to have as many doubts, because you're like, I actually already had 10 of your friends who were interested in these products, or even just 3. And most people don't get 1 comment on their first post. So it's an amazing way to sign distributors moving forward as a follow-up to host to post.
I also message every day on Instagram for distributors. Yeah. I don't stop doing that. Yep. I message the people who like my post, and the people who voted my stories, and people who watch my stories. I message them asking them to be a distributor. I won't ever stop doing that, even though this is working great. On Facebook, I every single night am asking people to be distributors. For sure. So I do that on Instagram.
Yeah. Like Story's question too. When people don't friend you, how do you get them to see your message?
I mean, I just keep commenting saying, hey, I friend requested you. Hey, I friend requested you. Then I'll message you details. Mm-hmm. We keep commenting.
And I posted that host to post tracker in Diamond Empire. If you use that or something equivalent to that, to track your host to posts, then it's a lot easier to go back through and see who hasn't accepted my friend request, and then you can reach back out to them again in the comments. So that works out good.
Yeah. But I mean, definitely Traci was going for a promotion too, so it's like, I want you guys to think even now, and wasn't a question, so it was okay to share, but like it's what month? September 4th. So usually around this time for me personally, it's like I start out with a goal and I have all these grand vision. I'm like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do this. But then it's like by the 4th, I'm like, okay, I keep saying tomorrow I'm gonna do this thing, and then tomorrow I'm gonna do that thing. And so it's like right now, you guys wanna just start doing everything that you can to get to your goal. Like this is such an important time in our business. And we were just talking about that
like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
September has always been like such a key month for us in our business. And I don't think it's anything magical or something like that, but it's just a season. And
it set the tone for the rest of the year of what happens for us personally.
Yeah. And, a lot of the promotions that have happened in the spring, we can trace back to what we started doing in September the year before. And so I just feel like, when we promoted to Double Diamond in September a couple of years ago.
And then in February, we promoted Triple, and then Presidential right after. But if we wouldn't have pushed to make that promotion happen in September, we wouldn't have gone Triple, and that was a push in September to get to Double even for us.
Yeah.
So, I mean, whatever you guys are on here, push for that goal this month. Like it is so worth it. And maybe you're tired. I mean, like we're tired, but maybe we're the only ones, but like, maybe you're tired, but it is so worth it. You will never regret pushing for a promotion. And there is such a difference between working your business and pushing for promotion.
And guys, I can't tell you how much of a blessing and how much of an incredible opportunity we have. I was telling Danielle the other day, I was like, I legit feel like we won the lottery by joining this company because they are so generous to us. And I cannot believe that they extended bonuses again in September. I was not expecting that. And I was like, they literally love us so much to be able to offer these bonuses to us again. And our compensation plan, we chose this business, Danielle and I chose this business because of our compensation plan minus the bonuses, without the bonuses. We were like, this is the best compensation plan. And we have bonuses now this month. So it's like icing on the cake, and it's literally such an incredible opportunity to promote. Like if you wait, like that's okay, but why would you not do it now when we have this amazing, like anybody can get a bonus this month. Literally any person on this Zoom, unless it's John and Sherry they've got their 2.0 spot. So every single person on this Zoom can get a bonus this month.
Yeah.
And don't rule yourself out because you are capable.
Try for it. There is such a difference between just posting and messaging and actually trying, like legitimately trying to get your promotion and really trying all month long, trying super hard. So, I mean, it's so worth it is all that we can say, and it will change your life. And like our Ruby promotion and our Emerald and our Diamond and all the promotions have been just as important as any other promotion. So whatever one you're up for, this is an amazing month. And you have all of us doing this together, I think it's always easier to promote when other people are promoting. Like personally, I'm like, the more people who promote, the better, because then it makes it easier for your promotion. So right now we have all of us working together. We're all going to be working all month long. So it's going to be an awesome time to really dig deep and do whatever it takes to just go all in, because you will never know unless you go all in. So let's say 50 years.
Okay, so she's basically asking, how do you keep up when you're getting this many people that you're having to talk to and respond to? So really, here's what I'll tell you guys. First of all, what I found, because I don't use Teamsy like Traci does, and I know that's like been her lifesaver, but I haven't.
We don't have like a software for following up. It's just like basically us.
And so like I reached that point. I was determined to send 200 a day regardless. And then I was like, I reached a point where I had to figure out how to manage it. I would say get to that point where you have to figure that out first, and then you'll figure out the way to do it if you keep pushing through it for you. And for me, it was just keeping a list of all the host posts, and I put that tracker up, basically how I do it. And I just keep that list. And honestly, I keep mine on my phone because I don't carry paper around with me and we're on the go a lot. So I keep it in my notes, but you can put it on paper if that works better for you. And I just write down every single person who hosts a post, and then underneath them, I'll put all the people that comment, and then, I'll just check off as I message them and as they sign up. So, once you start getting into a rhythm with it, you're going to maybe get to a point where it's like really hard and you're like, how do I manage all this? And then you break through and it's like super easy and you just get into the flow and it's not hard anymore. So I would just encourage you, if you get to a point where it seems overwhelming, don't slow down, because that's the worst thing you can do and it's going to stay overwhelming. But if you push through, then
so many people say that. They're like, okay, this is overwhelming that so many people are responding. That's good. You're at the right place. If it's overwhelming for you, then you're doing enough, but do more to get past that overwhelming feeling, and then it will not feel overwhelming for you. I've heard this from moms. I've heard this from people who are older. I've heard this from so many people. Like, you have to get past the point of it being overwhelming, but that doesn't happen until you do more, if that makes sense. Like, it's
you don't go to the gym because it's easy either.
Right.
Like, you're not going to get more success by going to the gym and it's easy. You go to the gym and you work out till you fail. And then you go the next day and you work out till you fail, except you succeeded more than you did the day before because you're stronger, you're better. It's like growing pains. So that overwhelming state is growing you to be better and to handle more. Become better at all of it in the midst of it.
And guys, it is, I have never had more fun with this business. I have never been more excited. I've never enjoyed my life more in work than I am at this point from using this, because like it was hard at first and it was overwhelming a little bit, but then I broke through that and I started signing so many customers that it was so energizing.
You have to break through that like, what's it called? That breakthrough. You have to break through that barrier, and it feels thick at first. It feels super thick and heavy, and like you're not going to break through and be one of those people who sign tons and tons and tons. But you have to put more energy forth and more actions and more messages. Some people will tell me, I'm messaging every day. I'm like, that's amazing. Good job. But you got to message more. Like, you've got to message more. It's the only way. And so it's like, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, it's because somebody said, I find myself getting overwhelmed, taking days to get to everyone. I'm not getting sales. But like, here's the thing. If you're like, stay up like maybe 10 minutes later to answer back everybody that you didn't get to during the day. Wake up 10 minutes earlier to get to everybody that you didn't get to.
And get good at doing this when you're stressed. Today we were in the airport. We had to check into, what's the thing called? Where you check in?
The airport?
Yeah. The security or whatever. I don't know.
TSA?
Yeah, TSA. They were like telling us to put our phones in. We're sitting there signing somebody up. Like when we're at dinner with my family, like, how you're supposed to put your phones away. Like, we're not right now because this is the season to do hard work. So like, there's no such thing as like for us putting I hate to say that because I know some of you are not going to.
We were on the plane, literally on the plane on the way back to California today. And somebody was like sending me their info as they're telling everybody, put away your electronic devices, turn off your phones and stuff like that. And I'm like, but they just sent me their info.
Like we have a small group at our house. There's 1,000 people running around. We're getting good at answering people back when a lot of chaos is happening. Like, it's like overwhelm, we've learned, is a choice. And so this is helping us get good at a lot of things in our life, because we're realizing that we can do more than what we think we're capable of. So it's like, no, are we sitting there all day long, like on our sofa messaging? No, like, I almost had eye surgery, so we're at lots of doctor's appointments, like at the doctor's appointments, we're sitting there doing this while they're like doing exams, you know what I mean? So it's like, we're getting good at really doing this everywhere, no matter how much chaos is happening.
And there's nothing that you have to learn or figure out beforehand. It's literally, you just make the choice to keep doing it, and then you figure out those ways.
It will feel uncomfortable at first. At first I was like, I don't want to use the script, it doesn't sound like me, but I did it anyway because it was working, and then I got better results, so it does feel uncomfortable, but it is so worth it.
And there's some tricks take your phone to the bathroom.
Mhm.
You know, if everything is in your text replacement, it doesn't take as long and you're not searching for answers, and it helps
Yep.
so much.
For
And
sure.
a huge thing that I have learned, y'all, as a mom pushing in this season right now, I just take a few minutes and look my kids in the eye. So if you need something, you just sometimes, you know, like I'm not going to look at my kids. That's not going to happen. You know what I mean? But if I just take, and I know those times when to do it, when I, you know, we do homeschool, but then I know on the day, or I mean, whatever, I don't need to explain to you the school my girls go to, but the days they do go to school, those 5 to 10 minutes when they get home from school, my phone's not on, it's not around, but it's only like 5 to 10 minutes and they're done with me, you know, which I know other people are in different seasons of the life, but if you're in my season, those moments are important. When I'm riding in the car, some of those moments are important. I also pay my 13-year-old to send messages for me while I'm driving. You know, I don't know, you make it work for where you're going to work, but no, you can work this business smarter, not harder.
Yeah. And I feel like some people want somebody to come in their life and tell them this is how you could do it, but you're gonna have to say, I want this bad enough. I don't want my life to look the same as it does right now for the rest of my life. So I'm just gonna find a way, because the way Stephanie makes it work, like I said, we have to stay on the phone with her late at night so she doesn't fall asleep, is gonna be different than somebody else makes it work. But there's a way for everybody to make it work, and you're gonna feel amazing and so good about yourself for making it work, and you're gonna just be so thankful, you know.
Yeah. Okay. So we're 15 minutes over. So this is so fun though. I'm like, we can keep going, but we're going to pray and let people go and keep working. I know that this is this script we got through so far of it. But Traci, I know it's in there 100 times, but will you post your whole script in Diamond Empire? And y'all, if you want to stay on here with me, I know there's a video, but some of you will not get off and click on Diamond Empire and look at the text replacement video. So I'm just going to stay on here and talk you through that simply. But Ben or Danielle, you guys want to pray for us? Pray for this team. We'd love for y'all.
Yeah, we can pray. God, I thank you for this team. I thank you for each person individually, God, who's on here. Just the incredible plans and purposes that you have for their lives individually and specifically and uniquely. But God, we came into this business. You've led us all into this business one way or the other, God. And so I know that this business is a huge part of that plan for each of us. And so God, I just pray for this month, for everybody on here, God, that you would just open their eyes to the possibilities and the incredible, glorious things that can be done in their life through this business, God. And I just pray that as you reveal those possibilities to them, you would just strengthen their faith and their belief and their hope that they are capable, that you've given them everything that they need to be able to be successful, and that there is literally no power in hell or on earth that can stand in their way of the blessings that you've set aside for them. And so, God, I just pray that you would strengthen them. I just pray that you would strengthen all of us, God, to go out and do what we know to do, to find the ways to make this work, and to just reach out to more people than we ever have, God, with the hope that we have to offer with both our products that are so incredible and the business opportunity, God, that we can literally have the ability to change lives. And we just, we're so thankful for Traci's testimony tonight, God, of how you have changed her life and used this business as a way to change her life, God. And we know that there are thousands and millions of people out there that can have the same experience. So we just pray that you would go with us this month, and that there would be more promotions on this team than ever before. And we just thank you and we praise you in Jesus' name. Amen.
I just want to say one quick thing. Okay, you guys, really quick, one testimony. One day we had 1,000 PBV because we had not moved our customers yet from host to post. So like in a 4-day period, we had enough volume to go Ruby on our own, like without anybody doing anything. So that's the beauty of doing this. Like we had 1,000 PBV because we had not moved our customers from a day yet. So if you're doing this, you can get like life-changing stuff for your business. That's it.
I love it. I love it. And there's so many takeaways to take away with y'all. But one of the things I would think of is this is our two-a-days. You know, our business is full of seasons, our life is full of seasons, but if you're going to play football, you're going to go to two-a-days at some point, sometimes three-a-days,
Yep.
and you put in the work. And so if you want to choose to make this September your three-a-days, how that's going to pay off January, February, March, you're going to be in better shape in the business by doing that. And so let's work this. Let's rock it. Danielle, Ben, Traci, thank you guys so much for just giving and being so generous in your leadership and what's working for you. That I love and I'm thankful for my team. And I'm so glad we get to do this together. Like, I'm like, God, you love me so much that you put me on the same team with these guys. And, you know, we might not all be on the same team, but we're all on the same team. And I love that. And I'm beyond grateful for that. And so this was super helpful. Put in the work, just do it when you feel like it. When you don't, go for it. Decide to do it and decide again tomorrow and decide again the next day and the next day and the next day. So you guys got this. Okay, I'm going to stop recording and then we'll talk through. Yes, love y'all.